I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Kaurna people of the Adelaide Plains. The first barrier to agroforestry is actually in the program. They got my topic wrong in there. This is a Nuffield story, mostly related to my original research topic, and now enriched with insights and learnings I never imagined. After many different perspectives and many thoughtful sleeps in many different beds, I've understood that my topic was beyond the mechanical solutions often spouted as the answer. I'm not going to provide an answer today, I'm sorry. A parable I discovered along the way helps me describe the complexity of this issue. Once upon a time, there was a farmer whose horse ran away. That evening, all of his neighbours came around to commiserate. They said, "We are sorry to hear your horse has run away. That is most unfortunate." The farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, the horse came back, bringing with it 7 wild horses. And in the evening, everybody came back and said, "Oh, isn't that lucky? What a great turn of events. You now have 8 horses." The farmer again said, "Maybe." The following day, his son tried to break one of the horses, and while riding it, he was thrown and broke his leg. The neighbours then said, "Oh dear, that's too bad." The farmer responded, "Maybe." The next day, the conscription officers came to conscript people into the army, and they rejected his son because he had a broken leg. Again, all the neighbours came around and said, "Isn't that great?" Again, the farmer said, "Maybe." The whole process of nature is an integrated process of immense complexity, and it's really impossible to tell whether anything that happens in it is good or bad, because you never know what will be the consequence of misfortune, or you never know what will be the consequence of good fortune. This story isn't really about horses. It's about how quickly we label today's events as good or bad, or today's decisions as good or bad. With bounded rationality, we often are making decisions about our future without seeing the long tail of consequences. Farming lives in that long tail. This story echoes the complexity in our decisions on Australian farms, opening up country, clearing, stocking, fertilising, things we did believing they'd make the land more productive and secure. The short-term measures we use have definitely shown how clever we are at increasing productivity. There's no doubt about that. Management of trees and woody vegetation in agroforestry, however, are long-term investments stretching out over decades, sometimes lifetimes and generations, the long tail. In the New England tablelands of New South Wales, for decades, cutting down one tree at a time felt like progress. More pasture, more fertiliser, more stock, more food, more money, more fibre. By the 1970s, a syndrome we came to call New England dieback had swept the northern tablelands. A tipping point was passed. Hundreds of thousands, likely millions of eucalypts declined and died across the tablelands. We went from over 30% tree cover in the 1940s to less than 5% tree cover, and we're still sitting there now. It was a wake-up call that the landscape we'd simplified wasn't bouncing back the way we expected. Scientists later described dieback as a complex web of interactions: climatic stress, simplified vegetation, insect outbreaks, and overuse after clearing. No single villain. The removal of shelter trees was replaced by improved pasture, and had slowly stripped resilience. Was this good or bad? Maybe. Whilst travelling with other scholars across Australia recently, it was hard to ignore the acceptable nature of removing trees that are centuries old to accommodate for the latest extra-wide spray booms and harvesters in the name of efficiency. We encountered a similar story unfolding in Brazil, where the degraded pastures of the Cerrado were being developed and improved. Trees were being stripped from the landscape, soils being exposed, tilled and worked hard to produce larger and larger crops. It's been incredible to see the rise in production across Brazil. Already the industry has been grappling with maintaining soil health, and the pursuit for knowledge around biological amendments was impressive. This is all despite strong land clearing laws and the requirement to maintain 30% tree cover on farms in Brazil. The Governor of Mato Grosso do Sul, Eduardo Riedel, admitted that corruption was still a challenge. Are the productivity gains worth it in the light of soil biology loss? Maybe. Travelling through the state of Sarawak in Borneo on our GFP last year, we got to learn a lot about Indigenous swidden farming, which is a type of nomadic slash and burn farming, followed by tree planting after the soil has been farmed out. This has been continued for centuries. Borneo is famous for its biodiversity, especially orangutans, but also infamous for their palm oil plantations. The consequences continue to evolve as we grapple with understanding the loss of species on one hand, such as the orangutan, and the chance for prosperity for Indigenous communities that have lost their ability to continue their traditional swidden farming. Good or bad? Maybe. When change is forced upon farmers, they quite often innovate and thrive, or else. This can actually also create a barrier when discussing resilience. Farming by its very essence requires resilience in one form or another. Nature can be unpredictable. We're dealing with the complexity already, so why would we add more trying to integrate trees and woody vegetation into our grazing and cropping enterprises? Estancia La Emilia is a farm in the Misiones province of Argentina. The farm is owned by the Gruber family, with a long history in sawmilling and value-added forestry. In the early 2000s, the country faced an economic and food security crisis, leading to a big increase in poverty. The Gruber family were forced to innovate to survive. Although their expertise was in forestry, they couldn't live on the timber sales alone. They realised that by incorporating livestock into their plantations, they could feed their staff and add cash flow in the short term. They actually changed their forest management also by thinning trees enough that it forced a slowing of growth, producing a higher quality timber. They pushed their harvest cycle from 25 years out to 40 years, nearly doubling it. No one would have guessed the consequences of the economic crisis. And what this farm is now is a well-known farm for high-grade timber along with feedlot beef and pork. So what does this all mean for the barriers to agroforestry? Here are some of the recommendations from my research so far. Although for these to be effective, we need to change our perspective. First, we need humility and patience. Don't celebrate the changes too quickly. Vegetation looked good, then came dieback. Clearing vegetation looked good, then came dieback. Dieback was bad, but it forced us to value shelter and understand ecosystem services. There's been talk already about ecosystem literacy. Planting trees can look like a cost today, yet over time, it's insurance and an opportunity when it comes to cycles through seasons, generations, and market crises. Agroforestry, well managed, provides options. And again, agroforestry is not limited to what you think it might be. As you can see, agroforestry is a lot broader than we realise. Secondly, it reframes trees as infrastructure, shade and shelter, ecosystem services, flood barriers, biodiversity scaffolding. Investment terms and finance metrics need to evolve to capture these hidden system leakages. And finally, it widens our time horizon. Agroforestry pays in seasons and decades, not weeks or months. Look beyond the barriers of tree trunks and leafy curtains for the opportunities of the future. I started with a Chinese parable, but I will end on a Greek proverb. A society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they will never sit. Thank you for following my story so far. I look forward to sharing my research in full. There's a lot more stories to add. None of these insights would have been possible without the support of Nuffield Australia, my Nuffield peers, and my sponsor, the Australian Future Drought Fund. I would also like to thank my family, my amazing wife, Millie, sitting up the back there, and also my daughter, Nina, and my sister, Kath, and all the rest of my wider family that have looked after things while I've been away. It's been a challenging couple of years. Thank you.